Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Katie. I'm adding up Addingtons, and I just got home from vacation with 7 of my 8 children, and I'm going to share with you today how I got the most bang for my buck in planning and booking that vacation. So stick around. If you are new here, welcome. I'm a mom of 8. We own our own company. We homeschool. We are former foster parents. We're an adoptive family. We're a multiracial family. We love to travel and adventure together, and we love to share our adventures with you. So I would love for you to hit that subscribe button down below and stick around with us. Right. So we live in Knoxville, Tennessee, and recently we drove about 4 hours north and we stayed in Florence, Kentucky, and we kind of did like a museum tour, if you will. We went and saw the Ark Encounter and the Creation Museum by Answers in Genesis. We went to the Cincinnati Zoo, and we went to the Museum of the United States Air Force. Now we snuck in a couple of other parks and local attractions like the Findlay Market in that trip. So as I'm recapping this vacation, I want to share with you guys 8 ways to get the most bang for your buck on a large family vacation. Now, a couple of caveats. This vacation for us, we really had a goal of spending time together as a family and building memories that the kids would have for a long time together. So our goal was to just have fun together as a family and do things that the kids would remember for a long time to come. So that being said, we made some choices about time versus money on this trip. And so I'm gonna skip some of the obvious things like staying with friends and family when you're traveling. That's a great way to travel with a large family, and we do a lot of that. That was not our goal for this particular trip though, so we chose not to do that. That is why I've entitled this Get the Most Bang for Your Buck and not necessarily save the most money on family vacation. But we did a few strategic things to really help us get the most out of what we were spending. So here we go. Number 1 is to plan your trip around family deals and promotions. So we chose to pick the Northern Kentucky, Cincinnati area because this year the Creation Museum and the Ark Encounter had free admission with an adult ticket for all kids under 10. So that means all of the kids that were with us on this trip were free for both of those museums. So we paid for our ticket, for my ticket and John's ticket, and we actually bought combo tickets for both the museum and the Ark since they're owned by the same parent company, and which is cheaper than buying 2 separate tickets to both attractions. So we paid for the 2 adult tickets, and then all 7 of our kids were free, and that is just for the year 2020. So we chose to use that promotion to our advantage while it was available to us. So we did that. Okay, number 2 is to book your attractions and your accommodations and all of those things together where you can. So again, for example, when I bought our tickets for the Ark Encounter, under the Plan Your Stay section of their website, I was able to find a Homewood Suites by Hilton Hotels in Florence, Kentucky. Now this is not sponsored. Hilton doesn't know me from Adam, but we do have good experiences with Hilton Hotels, and specifically with Homewood Suites, where you get a multi-bedroom, multi-bathroom suite with a full kitchenette in it. That works really well for our family. So I was able to book a 2-bedroom suite in this hotel through the Ark Encounter website for cheaper than it would have been straight on the website. All right, number 3 is to use memberships or accounts wherever you can. So for example, we are members at Zoo Knoxville here in Tennessee, and they offer a reciprocal membership with lots of other zoos in the country, including the Cincinnati Zoo. So you can book tickets at other zoos for sometimes half off the price. Some places even offer free admission for reciprocal members. So if you are a member of a museum or a zoo or a club or an association or something like that, even just AAA or veterans, check those memberships and see what kind of reciprocal benefits they offer. This one actually didn't pan out for us because the Cincinnati Zoo only offered reciprocal tickets if you bought them the day of and they couldn't guarantee a timed entrance time if you bought them that day. So we chose to spend the money and guarantee ourselves entrance to the zoo in the land of COVID-19. All right, number 4 is to use outside rewards programs where you can. So for example, we booked everything, all of our tickets, our hotel, everything on a Chase Visa rewards card so that we would get 1% cash back on everything. Now that 1% isn't a ton, but it makes a difference. I also use Rakuten, which used to be called Ebates, which I know I'm probably like the last one in the world to know about this, but I used that to book as much of our stay as I could. So like, for example, I will get 2.5% back on our hotel stay for the week because I booked it through Rakuten. Now, if you haven't used that before, they are running a special right now up until Christmas, where if you use the referral link that I will stick down in the description box and you make a qualifying purchase, you'll actually get $40 free back. And again, this isn't sponsored. It's something that I just use all the time and love. You know, I consider it extra coffee money in my wallet. So check it out if you haven't before, and get that bonus before Christmas time. If you're already doing your online shopping, it doesn't cost you anything, and it'll get a little bit of money back on the Christmas shopping that you're probably already doing. Number 5 is to consider what you get for your money. So is it cheaper to stay with friends and family? Absolutely, it is. We can all agree on that. For us, getting the hotel, 1, was just our time together. 2, again, in the land of COVID-19, we were able to eat our meals in the hotel and just generally not be around a lot of other people, which was nice. Most of the attractions that we chose to do were outside, or we went on days where there wasn't anybody there. So we were very careful to stay socially distanced. But for us, the hotel provided a consistent landing place for the kids to sleep. It had a pool and a hot tub, which we made full use of. There were like at least 3 days that we took everybody swimming. It allowed us to have regular housekeeping. The hotel actually had an Amazon mail locker system, so we were actually able to get some things delivered a couple of times during our stay during the week, things that we ran out of unexpectedly or that we realized would be helpful. We were able to get mail and regular housekeeping. Now you may say like, hey, Airbnb or VRBO or something like that would be cheaper, and that is true sometimes, and we have used that before for family vacation. In this case, again, COVID-19, the cleaning fees actually overrode the price difference on any given stay for us. So the ability to have one nightly fee that we paid and get regular housekeeping without the added fee was kind of the breaker for us. It was also really nice to not spend the time packing and repacking and moving stuff around during the week. Again, we've done that. There's nothing wrong with it, but it was really nice to not do that on this particular trip. All right, number 6 is to widen your circle when you are looking for attractions. For the most part, the attractions that we visited were 20 to 30 minutes away from our hotel. But one day we did drive a little bit further. We drove about an hour and a half to Dayton, Ohio, where we went to the Museum of the United States Air Force, where they have 4 hangars full of historic airplanes. Very super cool and free, free to enter. So that longer drive that one day allowed us to see some really cool things without spending extra money. All right, number 7, always one of the biggest costs with a large family is food. Now, we spent a lot of time balancing eating out versus brown bagging our lunch. So you're going to want to check the attraction policies. Some places won't let you bring in your own food, as well as the re-entry policies if you decide to leave the attraction to eat your own food versus eating there. Now, sometimes we did choose to eat at the attraction. For example, the Ark encounter. We would have lost about 2 hours worth of our day getting from the Ark back to the parking lot, out to somewhere else to eat, into the parking lot, and back into the ark. Even though we were allowed re-entry there, just the distance that it would have taken for us to do that would have been time prohibitive. So we chose to buy our food at the ark encounter. We took our own food to the zoo with us, which we actually couldn't find the policy, but we figured if they didn't let us bring it in, we would just run it back out to the car. But we took our own food to the zoo with us. Now, the in-between is that at the Creation Museum, we actually left the museum, just went right out to the parking lot, which was we didn't have to shuttle from the parking lot to the museum like we did at the Ark. We went out to the parking lot, we ate in the car, and then we re-entered. We did the same thing at the Air Force Museum. We did take advantage of the hotel breakfast. Now, everything was pre-packaged, pre-prepared, and handed out. It wasn't a buffet like you might normally see at a continental breakfast. But John would go down with the kids. They would get all their breakfast plates and bring them back up to the room and eat in the room. That breakfast was another reason why the hotel was worth it to us, because the breakfasts every morning and then even some snacks and drinks at the evening social. We really used a combination of packing our own food and choosing to buy some things where we were, particularly coffee. We bought a lot of coffee. And finally, number 8 is to either skip souvenirs altogether or to limit them. So for example, we did not give the kids a bunch of money this time. Some we have done in the past where we've given all the kids a certain amount of money, and that is theirs for the trip, and they get to choose what they want to spend it on during the trip, and when it's gone, it's gone. But this time what we chose to do was, instead of doing that, although some of the kids did bring their allowance and buy some things on their own, what we chose to do is at each attraction we picked a book. So this is the Air Force Museum one. We chose a book and a Christmas ornament. This is from the Ark Encounter, God's Rainbow Covenant with Noah. So we chose to get a book of the attraction that we had visited and a Christmas ornament to remember it. Now, so that way we weren't just looking at everything at random. We weren't trying to pick out something. For us, I know our kids enjoy flipping through these books. I have made Shutterfly books before of trip pictures, but our kids just enjoy looking through books like this and going like, hey, we saw that. Remember when we were there? Remember how silly that was? Remember what that looked like? Remember. So for us, these big picture books, although maybe a little bit more expensive, are great reminders, and they usually also end up being sort of fun learning resources too. So like this one has all the information about the planes and the equipment that we saw in person. It has all the written information in it. So this will be something that we continue to learn from and remember. And then the Christmas ornaments, I've actually been doing this even on our local trips into the mountains and places right around close to us, so that when we put up our tree this year, even though 2020 has been a bizarre year, when we put up our tree, we will have lots of reminders of all the fun things that we did as a family. So I did get, this one was from the Ark Encounter. I did get one at the Creation Museum. I got a pewter plane at the Air Force Museum, and I ordered one of Fiona the hippo from the Cincinnati Zoo. So those are our 8 ways that we got the most bang for our buck on this large family vacation. So let me know what other tips and tricks you have down in the comments to get the most bang for your buck, or any other suggestions you have for what our large family should do next. So thanks for being here. I'm so glad you're along for the ride. I did take individual vlog videos of all of those attractions, so I will be churning those out in the days to come. We want to share more about them with you and just show you our kids having fun and being cute, because who doesn't love that? And So we will get to more specifics about each attraction, but those are the ways we got the most bang for our buck. If you're not subscribed already, be sure to subscribe down below so that you can see our other vacation vlogs and tips. I will also be doing one about organizing and packing and coordinating a large family vacation, and how we made that work for us. So make sure you're subscribed to catch that in the future, and we will see you next time. Bye.